What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of Draft to Glory. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for being here in the DTG. I don't like any of these formations. We're going to go with 4-5-1 attack. In the last episode guys, you guys got super close to 5k likes. If we could smash it again, that would be very much appreciated. Now this actually, this is perfect to have Ronaldo up here because in the last episode and the last few episodes, there's been a lot of complaints about me picking the best players, about me constantly picking the Ronaldos and the players that are just going to win me the draft. And there seems to be a split in the comments and in the viewership of what I should be doing. And some people think I should be taking the best players to win the drafts, and some people think I should be taking, like, basically obscure players. And the problem is if I take the obscure players, so if I go for, like, Thomas Muller here, I'm probably not going to be able to end up winning the draft, right? Like, there has to be the balance between a fun team, but also a usable team. Because if I take just a funky team from obscure leagues and obscure players, I'm never, ever, ever going to be able to win the draft, or at least far less than I do now. And when I don't win the draft, people complain that I didn't take the best players that would have helped me win the draft. So I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of two factions within my own viewership that want different things. So I'm going to pick today another draft where every team of the season that shows up will be picked and will be used. And what we'll do from there is I want you guys to put in the comment section your opinion on what I should be taking or where you want this to go. Now, funnily enough, it will change. The dynamics of the draft will change dramatically from tomorrow and onwards when more team of the seasons are put in packs. And the reason why that will happen is because right now there's only 2 team of the seasons in packs, and they are very rare to show up in draft. You know, I've done what, 4 or 5 drafts since team of the season has been released. And we've only got 3 in one draft maximum and 2 in another draft. So they're super, super rare to show up. Now, do we take Garcia to link with Ronaldo? He's got engine, 3-star, 3-star, 6 foot. Nice stats. A little low on pace, but he'll be all right in that cam spot. But yeah, so, you know, I can't... I'm basically like stuck in the middle there. Ooh-wee. Prime Maradona, yes, please. He links to everybody. I don't care who else was there. So, yeah. Ooh. I'll definitely take Milinkovic-Savic as well. I know Vass links to Garcia, but I don't really care. I want this Milinkovic-Savic card. This is already shaping up to be a nice team. And a Lionel Messi, I know we can't get the right Messi at right mid, but ooh, 2 good choices. We could take Henrik Mkhitaryan with a powerhouse, which boosts what? Defending is not really good to boost. Passing is very nice to boost. Dribbling is okay. Shooting and pace are good. Or we could take Ian Robben, which again has a defensive boost. Only a 2-star weak foot, but those 4-star skill moves and those insane stats. Let's take him, especially given the fact that we have Max Kruse here. What we can actually do is, if we get a better striker, we can put them up top. That's it, really. We can put any better striker up top. So that's a good midfield to start with. Really, really strong, really good cards. Let's see what we get in the left back spot. So nothing major here. I'm going to have to take... I'm going to go with Balenciaga, I guess. Gets another soft link to Ronaldo. It looks like we're going for like a Calcio A La Liga mix. And off the back of that, we could definitely take Miranda there. Big, big Brazilian defender. I've been using him outside of draft and I like him a lot. Ooh, that's perfect. Team of the Year, Bonucci. Now, if we could get Karsdorp here, I'd be done. That would be amazing. Never have I wanted such a low tier defender. But we'll take Cancelo there and we'll swap around those two to get a little chem boost. And hopefully we can get like a Buffon in goal would be nice. Donnarumma just as nice for chemistry. So that's big for chem. Everybody is on minimum 7 chemistry. Few changes to be made still. Definitely need a new attacker and hopefully a new left back. But so far this is a pretty good team. Now we could take Oscar De Marcos. He doesn't fit. I was going to play him at left back instead, but he only gets a soft link. So let's take Thiago. Take Thiago, just nice and high rated, could be a good sub. Probably won't use him as a sub based on whoever else we get. No Karsdorp here either, sadly. Karsdorp would have been very, very nice. Ziegler as well, obviously doesn't really work. Keane and Smalling I'm not interested in. I'll take Keane because he's got a shadow chem style, but there's no way he's gonna get in there. We get another Thomas Muller card here and a Gareth Bale card. Now this Thomas Muller card is good for a central role, not for a wide role. But like Robben doesn't get any links to anyone, this Gareth Bale card also doesn't get any links to anyone. James Rodriguez could work. We put James Rodriguez in instead of Cruiser, and then would have to get somebody else to go up front again, because James Rodriguez will have to get a strong link to Robben and then a soft link to... I'm going to take Rodriguez, and I'm not going to start him yet because the team as it is where it's at, but we could potentially swap this around. I guess we take Insigne as well, just because we've got that theme going on. We've got that Calcio A theme, so we'll take the Calcio A players. Marco Reus, Gomez, De Bruyne. Now, Marco Reus is good, isn't he? Yes, he is. Because we could put Reus next to Robben. He would get... Ooh. I'm going to take... I see, I'm sure some people are saying take Gomez, right? But we have Insigne on that left side. I know Gomez gets the strong link into Maradona, but the left side is already covered up from Insigne. I'm going to take Reus for the time being. We're going to see what we can do with linking Bundesliga up top and maybe switch out to a Bundesliga setup. Now I'm going to take Team of the Season goalkeeper as well. Try and get myself a nice big rating in there. Luna's not really something I'm interested in. None of these players are something I'm interested in. We'll take the Calcio A guy again because we could potentially use him. And then our last picks here have got Diekmeyer. See, now Thomas Muller would actually work because we'd get a strong link into him, but we can't put Diekmeyer down there either. It doesn't benefit us in any way, shape or form. Juan Fran as well. I'm really liking the ability to potentially link up Reus, Robben and Max Kruse, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice elsewhere to do so. Let's take Diekmeyer just because we have got some Bundesliga players in there. It makes a little bit more sense. I'll take Di Maria. I'm not interested in Strootman. I will never use him. So we'll start with that. We'll take that Angel Di Maria card. Ooh, a couple of good players here. Zil Boosted and Christian Eriksen. Neither of them fit into the team again. So we'll take Eriksen. I need a good sub. Actually, I've got a couple of good subs. We've got some good subs. That's no problem. Okay, so we've got some silvers here. Doesn't matter who those are. And then our final pick is going to be Neymar on the bench. Right. Now, the choices are we start like this and we just play with the team like this. I'm actually quite surprised I didn't get the chemistry. We could also put in James Rodriguez and that gets us 100 chemistry. Milinkovic Savic, the only guy off chem. And then we have Reus that we could throw up top instead. I mean, that's just perfect, isn't it? Reus up front, Rodriguez and Maradona in like cams, Robben and Ronaldo, Milinkovic Savic. A great defence except for the left back. And now I don't even need to use Diekmeyer. What left backs do I have? It's a real shame that I didn't get a Brazilian left back because I could have started Neymar. I mean, I could start Diekmeyer on the right back slot and then put Cancelo over to the left back slot, but that's not really going to work for us. I mean, this team is solid, right? It's an okay team. I think there's some weaknesses in this team for certain. Those weaknesses are the defenders. Not necessarily. I mean, Bonucci is obviously insane. One of the biggest problems we have, it is a 190 as well. One of the biggest problems that we have is that Miranda doesn't have a pace card, so he's going to be quite slow. Cancelo in general is quite a low-end card, and Balenciaga is not only a bad card, but he's off chem with a woeful chem style. To the point where I'd probably prefer doing this. What do we think about this? So starting Insigne and Bonucci out there. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense. I would much rather have Bonucci in the middle of the park, that's for sure. What I'll do is have we got a good fullback on there? We haven't. I'll take Diekmeyer in the team, even though we've got a 190 here. Who am I never going to use? We're never going to use Garcia. So that'll be our team. So we'll have Neymar and Eriksen, Di Maria and Insigne as our super subs. I know there's 4 there and we can only use 3, but it'll be depending on how the game goes. Do we need some pace? Do we need some skills of Di Maria? Do we need the 5-star of Neymar, which we almost definitely will? And then do we need a good midfielder in Eriksen, which I probably will as well for James Rodriguez. But I'm happy with this team. Marco Reus, very, very good. Sniper Chem style as well. 4-star, 4-star, fantastic stats. Maradona, obviously insane. James Rodriguez is good but has low stamina, which is going to be an issue, but we'll sub him off in the second half. Arjen Robben looks to be very, very good as well. Low stamina on him too, so we could sub. Probably it will probably be Rodriguez and Robben that come off for Insigne and Neymar, or Di Maria and Neymar. And then that final sub, I mean, Milinkovic-Savic, what a beast card that is. Very excited to use him. Team of the Year, Bonucci. This is a really, really strong 4-league hybrid. We've got Calcio A, La Liga, Bundesliga, and the Icon League as well. So a 4-league, 190 rated hybrid. It's a good squad. I'm a little bit suspect about the 2 fullbacks. If I can make sure that I don't get caught out with those guys there, guys, we could have a good draft in us here. But this is going to be the end of the draft. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we go into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against got a 5-2-2-1 squad, a 1-9-1 squad, so the highest I've ever built myself, which was also a 1-9-1. And I'd just like to talk to you guys briefly a little bit about how some titles arise and how the breakdown of the draft works for me, and why there are some times where during the drafting phase I'll be critical of the team that I've built, but then the title might be indicating along the lines of the team being good. Basically, drafts are broken up into 3 phases, obviously. The draft, the gameplay, and then the packs. And the packs themselves also have 2 phases within that phase. During the draft phase, if I draft like players that I've had bad instances with, or a team that has low chemistry, or potentially a bad formation, I might look at that team and think, this is a bad team. And so when I'm building the draft and talking to you guys live through building the draft, my initial instinct might literally be, this is a bad team, this is a bad draft, I'm not enjoying what I've got here, I don't enjoy the players to hand. Maybe it's because there are players, like I say, that I've personally had bad experiences with, or that I've heard about that have been bad, or maybe they have stats that are bad. You know, for example, Messi and Robben and Maradona having low fitness, or Robben having a 2-star weak foot. Like, I might look at that Robben card and say, this isn't a good draft because that Robben's not exactly ideal, or Milinkovic-Savic off chem isn't exactly ideal, or having 2 fullbacks that aren't the best, or on bad chem styles aren't ideal. And those things, like, in my mind, I look at that and I think, okay, this isn't the greatest draft. You know, obviously the greatest draft would be a perfect chem draft, perfect chem styles draft, perfect players, good weak foots, good skill moves, all of the necessary available options. So when I draft a draft, my initial instinct is a true instinct. However, sometimes, like in the last episode, I called it this team is insane, and the drafting phase, I was saying this team is bad. And that's because during the gameplay phase, sometimes teams and players just surprise me. Sometimes I get hold of a player that I've either never used before, or used rarely, or used in a different position, or used a different variation of that player that I've had a bad experience with, and then I get hold of them in the draft and they just play out of their skin. For example, on this occasion, Marco Reus FUT birthday card is phenomenal. And I've not used him before. So I might have, in the drafting phase, been like, okay, Marco Reus is okay, he's got some good stats, he's got an okay chem style, but I wouldn't have been too bountiful about talking him up. However, during playing with him, I actually love him. And there are some teams, like there are some formations, like this 4-5-1, I don't particularly like this formation. But on this occasion, with this set of players and with how I played in this draft, this formation and this team was exceptional. Like, they all played really well. They all filled a role. I didn't have to sub people off really early on. I didn't have to change my fullbacks and bring on some new players. Like, the team was just so cohesive and so coherent, and it just played so beautifully well throughout the course of all of the games we played, that in spite of what I said with my initial opinions when actually drafting the draft, my opinion might change on the team, and that's why you might see the title change on the team. And so what would happen is that's how that works. Then we go on to the packs. Now, the packs very much so also have a couple of instances within themselves. So there are two variations to the packs. Number one is the actual contents of the packs, like what you get inside the pack, and number two is the actual packs. So if we picked up a 100k pack, a 35k pack, and a 15k pack, which I believe is the best prize, I would say that that was an insane prize because it's the best prize. Also, if we pick up the 2 mega packs and the 15k pack, that's an insane prize. If we pick up the mega pack, the 25k pack, and the other 25k pack, I would say that's an insane prize because they're super rare, you know, super rare to get a prize that good. And it's like, when I see that, I'm like, whoa, that's pretty sick, because I'm so used to getting the 2 25ks and the 15k, or sorry, the 7.5k, or getting the 50k and the 5k, or getting the 2 25s and the 2 5s. They're like the most common rewards I always get. It's very rare that I get something out of that. So if the title was something along the lines of these packs are insane or these rewards are insane, not only could it be indicative of the actual rewards that we got, it could also then be indicative of what we got in the rewards. So we might get the 2 25ks and the 2 5ks, which isn't necessarily an insane reward by any stretch of the imagination. But if we got a team of the season within those packs, all of a sudden, this is an insane reward. We've packed something amazing out of one of these packs. So I just wanted to give you guys a little insight into my mentality as to how and why I pick titles. I don't like just go out there and just pick a random title and just pop it in there because it pays absolutely no dividend to what's in the video. The title is always reflective of what happens in the video, although most people skip the gameplay part. You know, I can see the analytics of the videos. More often than not, people will watch the draft, skip the gameplay, and then watch the packs. So in an instance where I might talk about the draft being bad at the start and then saying how good it is during the gameplay, a lot of the people that watch the video don't hear that side of things. So I hope you guys can understand that that's where I come from in that instance. So into the final we go, guys. We end up getting a really nice 1-goal lead there with Ian Robben. The low-driven finesse around the goalkeeper to make it 1-0. Sadly, my opponent kept doing that through ball right there so often. No matter what, even if I went on ultra defensive, which I did a few times during this game, it didn't matter. He still just kept getting through with through balls all the time. And it seemed to be from like the halfway mark where we would just apply a through ball through, and one of his attackers would be running onto it, and it got really frustrating. So I made a few changes. I made some subs at half time. I actually went ultra attacking because I thought if I'm on ultra defensive and this guy's getting these through balls and these counter attacks against me anyway, what I need to do is take the most of the chances when I get them and make sure I just outscore this guy. And so at 2-1 down, I went ultra attacking. I pulled it back to 2-2. I pulled it up to 3-2. I eventually got up to 4-2. And I was like, okay, good. Game over. 4-2 with 15 minutes to go. Well, sadly, he did pull one more goal back with another through ball there. Good finish as well from from Hazard. However, he was unable to get the 4th goal to get back into the game. So I did end up winning this draft. And what a beautiful win it was. Really good team, really good gameplay. And that, guys, will be the end of the gameplay. Let's get into the packs. So, guys, we get our 60th draft victory with this team. Very, very happy. The final was so tricky, man. I felt like I was controlling the general flow of the game, and you can tell that by the possession that I had, but every time my opponent got the ball, he'd just pass it into midfield, then just hold triangle, like full power, and he just kept putting his wingers and his strikers through, and it was just so difficult to defend. So he created a lot of chances from sheer volume of counter-attacks. I ended up going 1-0 up early. He pulled it back and got it to 2-1 to him. Second half, I pulled it back, went 3-2 up, went 4-2 up. He equalised, he pulled one back from kickoff, and then I managed to stave off any further attacks. As expected, the fullbacks were a little bit problematic, just their bad positioning and their general low stats just allowed for a lot of chances to be created against me. I actually quite enjoyed this formation, I'm not going to lie. I didn't like the fact that the left mid and right mid didn't really get involved all that much. Robben did get some goals. Ronaldo really didn't do very much. This guy here was just phenomenal throughout the whole draft. Whether I've moved him into Cam or whatever, Marco Reus was just an absolute beast for this whole draft. But really, really happy to come away with a draft win here. Obviously a really nice team. And now, as you can see by the record, 60 draft victories. My goals per game is still coming down. My average goals scored per match after, 370 games. My average goals per match is 4.29. That's absurd. That's a really, really high value. So yeah, I'm happy to get 60 wins on the board. In FIFA 17, the most I think I got the most drafts on one account was something like 50 something. In FIFA 16, when draft was first introduced, the most drafts I got on one account, most draft wins should I say, was 63. So I at least want 4 more draft wins throughout the rest of this year of FIFA to beat my record of most draft wins in a year. But let's claim our prize. Let's see if we can pack a team of the season. What do we get? Okay, I mean, this is as per usual. This is a good pack for a good set of packs for just generating profit back. But obviously, it's a bad set of packs for actually packing anything good. You know, this is one of those ones where you just have a low probability of getting a good player, but a high probability of making just guaranteed profit, because you just get so many players and so many items out of these 4 packs that you can't possibly not produce profit. The way the market is, you know, every gold card will sell for 500 to 800 as a minimum. You might, you know, some of them will sell for 1200, 1500, etc., etc. The consumables sell, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's always good profit to be made from these rewards. But sadly, I'm going to discard him. But sadly, the opportunity of a team of the season card in a pack like this, like the 25k player packs that we're about to be picking up, the opportunity of a team of the season is pretty slim. But we're going to have a look as to whether or not we can get something good out of these. Maybe my luck is in today. Maybe the FIFA gods are shining down. We start with, it's a thin pack for number 1, so nothing in pack number 1. Not even an 83 rated card, not even a board. We get Deferel and Schultz. Nothing there that sells. Ooh, Gomez might be okay. That Werder Bremen centre-back might be okay. So Gomez is currently selling for about 2.4 by looks of things, which is really, really nice. Let me check this guy as well. I don't want to take up all of my transfer spaces. So this guy, yeah, 800 coins. 800 coins is okay. That's not too bad. And I want to check the price of these guys. If they're for like 400, 450 coin cards, yeah, he's 500. I'm just going to discard them just because I don't want to waste a trade pile spot. Yeah, he's even less than 450. And then Alsoma, I don't want to waste a trade pile spot just in case we get some good stuff in the next pack. So Alsoma will list up for 450. We'll save 4 spots for the final pack. And let's see what we get in that final pack, guys. Come on, EA. Bless us. Let us pack our first team of the season through draft. We got loads last year. It's another thin pack. And this is why this prize is frustrating. Because I know I've made coins here today. I just also know for an absolute fact that I haven't packed anything great. Now this guy's worth 2.5k, so that's not bad at all. We'll pop him in there. We'll send all those guys to the club and we'll list Brandt up as well. Turns out I could have listed all of the players, but so be it. That, guys, is going to be the end of the draft for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.